Hello, everybody. Oh my God, I missed that music. I'm so happy to be here today. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm your host, Anya, with Restream Team in Austin, Texas. And joining me today is Grace with Restream Team, also in Texas, but Dallas. How are you
Yep.
today?
I am great. I am so excited. I cannot help but jam out to our intro. I hope everyone watching enjoys it too, because Anya and I are both sitting here jamming out
I
to
was
this with our
dancing,
tunes.
yes. So this is our first show after 2021 Christmas break and a little bit of kind of brainstorming and thinking about things throughout January. So welcome, everybody. We missed you big time. And today we have a great show for you with lots of awesome product updates. Just to give you a little teaser, we will be talking about Restream Teams, our new feature that allows you to co-create and co-produce streams. And we'll also touch on a couple of studio updates, specifically how to create hybrid streams, so play your videos, pre-recorded ones from video storage, and how to create virtual backgrounds. So I guess let's just kick started with looking at some chat comments here.
Let's get to know our audience, Anya. So I know you had some
Totally.
questions you want to drop in the chat. So
Yeah, absolutely. I see we have like hello from Leicester, Eddie saying hello from Nigeria. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us today from so far away. My name is John, and he is from Camp Verde. Awesome. Thank you, John. Welcome to the show. And Jeff says hi, Grace and Anya. Hi, Jeff.
hey, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah. So the quick question that we had for you is we kind of want to fill the room a little bit and learn a little bit about your experience with live streaming. So please drop in the chat how long have you been streaming for? You can put years or months or days or minutes, whatever is true to you. Just let us know how experienced you are, and yeah, we will be really curious to hear how that goes. Awesome.
Cool. Well, we'll wait for people to be dropping in how long they've been. I think people are coming in. 2 years. Roshane says 2 years. Good for
That's
you.
awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
that's quite experienced. Becky here from LinkedIn is saying 1 year. That's a good time. That's actually my favorite when you're still super excited and really engaged with live streaming, but you already kind of know what you're doing. So that's a good place. Lester says 3 years, and DJ Quicken Music says about 3 years. That's awesome.
Oops.
Yeah. Cool. Patrick is saying he's from Boston, Massachusetts. That's awesome. Ricky's saying I'm new to Restream. Well, welcome. We are going to share some really cool things with you today. And Paul from LinkedIn, hi Paul, says since Justin TV. You might have to give people a little bit more of a time frame what that means. And it says 2 years. And awesome. Will this scrolling ticker feature be out soon? I think it's a scrolling ticker. And yes, it is in progress. So we will have it eventually. So hang on tight for that. That is definitely going to make it to our next updates. All right. So we are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the new feature, which is Restream Teams. And also, yes, exactly.
Yay!
And of course, what I would really be curious to know as we are doing our quick demo, and maybe like right after that, I would love to learn about how you guys are producing videos. So if you can also share with us, we can continue sharing the experience in years, but also if you can add to that, how do you typically create videos? If that is solo, so it's just you, one man band, one girl band, whatever that is, or is that usually a team? So do you collaborate with multiple people? Is it a duo like what we're doing with Grace right now, or is it like a whole full crew of like over 5 people who are with you every time you are live? So really curious to hear what are your ideas on that. Awesome. All right. So, what are team accounts? Getting back to our main topic. So teams allow you, to put it very simple, allow you to invite other people to log in to your Restream account, but this time you can do it securely, and you're not limited to just one co-producer or co-host. You can invite up to 10 teammates total. That includes you, so you're taking one of the 10 spots, and you can assign different roles. So right now we have two major roles that are available within Teams. That's your admin and your co-producer. And then there's several different applications of like how exactly you can collaborate with those people. So I'm going to go ahead and share my
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, let's show people how to get to it. And I love this feature. I got to test it out for myself last week when Randy, our coworker, who's on the video content team with me, and I produced a live show together. It was the first time that we had worked at, independent roles. We weren't signing into the same account. I brought him in as a team member, and we were able to run a whole show together. And it is a game changer. Now, I love going live with a co-host. I always love going home because you never know what's going to happen. At least there's someone there to cover. And we've seen it all happen, haven't we, Anya? But
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many great things about this. It's a boost of confidence for you. It's so much help against any kind of like technical hell that you can get involved in while you're live streaming. So yeah, the feature is super helpful. So how to get to it? So it's currently public for everybody, and to celebrate the release of Teams, we are allowing everybody on any account, whether you're free, standard, pro, doesn't really matter. You all have at least one teammate to invite, and then depending on your plan, you are getting more and more team members or seats added to your plans. So how do you get there? You just go to your Restream dashboard. That's your new kind of like home screen look. And then you click on Teams, those two little guys together. And this is where you start. So I already have a team, but usually you would start with creating the team name. So mine is dogs. And you can, from here, go to invite team members. So here is where you can simply type up any email address and then select the role. And we will dive into the difference between admin and co-host in just a minute here, but those are the two options that you have. Very briefly, admins have a lot more rights than co-hosts, and admins will be able to help you with pre-production, post-production, while co-hosts are kind of designed to come in and assist you with one specific stream. So you select that role, and then you send an invite. And once the invite has been accepted, you can see your people right here. So they will all be listed in your team. At any point of time, you can click on manage your team from here. So even if you are back in your home screen, so those are two ways how you can get there. And as a teammate, when you are joining a team, you can actually navigate between multiple teams. So you can always come back to your personal account, and you can click on the team that you are assisting with. So that is the like how to get there in the nutshell. And we are going to see if there are any questions on this side, and then we'll dive into the specific roles and applications of this.
well, so Ricky McElroy says, I'm having to learn so I can show others. Then I will have teams. Well, working here for Restream, we all learn together. So, and
Yeah.
we've made it so that it is absolutely seamless. Like if you're familiar with the studio, all of your graphics are there and all of that, everything is within a mouse click. So we try to make it easy, but it's even easier when you have someone else just running the show. And I don't have to be on camera. Like, Anya could be here full screen. You don't even see me or hear me, or you don't have to. You can mute me, and and I'll just be back here running the show for you. So that's is. So we have a question here from DigiBrain Academy. What is the pricing? So with the Teams account, who has access to it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to show you our pricing page right now, real quick here. And sorry, I have all kinds of things. So currently, we do not charge anything extra for Teams, right? And what we do is we allow you to have certain number of team logins depending on your plan. So let's have a look here. So if you have a free account, you have two logins. That means one is taken by you, and then you can invite one more team member. So everybody gets at least one teammate. The same applies to standard. If you are on professional plan, you get four. So that means it's you for one, and then there are three more team invitations that you can offer to your crew, video producers. And then premium and business get 10. If you are on premium or business plan and need more, all you need to do is just reach out to our support. For a limited time, we will be adding limited amount of additional seats for free. Eventually, it will be an add-on feature, but not for the Q1 for sure. For the next couple of months, this is going to look like your pricing breakdown. So the number of seats is going to depend on your current plan, and adding additional will be free on premium and business, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So Lester has a great question, which is a question I had starting this is how will they log on?
Yes, great question. So remember when I showed you how to invite people? Once you click that invite button, Restream will send an email to that email address that you selected, and that email invitation will contain a button that says join the team. It will, of course, have the name of the team and also your email address so they know it's from you. And then once they click it, it will just immediately land them into the home screen of your account. If you already have any kind of preset events or anything else that is going on your home screen, they will be able to see that immediately. However, we recommend a little bit of a cheat sheet for them. So if you are asking them to come in and to help you with a specific event, or if you're asking them to create an event, just give them a little bit of orientation on like what you expect them to do, because they'll be just simply landing in your account like if it was yours.
So Sean Shapiro, who works for the police department in Toronto, Canada,
Awesome.
he says, I've
Wow.
been using the admin feature since it rolled out and it's amazing. Big thank you to the dev team for the great work. Well, you've
Thank
got
you.
the right person on camera here to talk about that. So I tell them all the time, like, we're running the show, but the real star is this Teams feature.
Yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah, thank you so much, Sean. I really appreciate it. And I will definitely pass it over to our development and product team. Yeah, definitely. It is a very kind of like early stage version. We are planning to add more and more opportunities to collaborate for people. But yeah, in this stage, it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. And it does allow you to have a lot more flexibility when you create. So
Well, here is a
that's
good question,
awesome.
and I think this segues into our next section because we do want to talk about what each of those roles mean. But Becky
Yes.
W over on LinkedIn says, "Would I, as the host, still be able to be on the session if I'm the one who schedules it?"
Yes, absolutely. So, how team accounts work is you are basically sharing the access to your account. So, you can both be on stream together, or you can be the host and let your admin or assistant or VA to do all the work that's related to creating an event, scheduling it, adding the graphics, adding the captions. So, it really depends on like how you want to organize your work. But in terms of access, by allowing someone to come in to your account as your teammate, you're not limiting others. So you can all be logged in together, or you can start the stream with one person on and the other person comes in and joins later. So yes, you can definitely be on the session while someone else is scheduling it, and you can also let someone else do the whole thing and never even log in if that's how you want to roll. So yeah, all of those options are possible.
So talk to us about the different levels and the different roles, because I know that there's the admin feature and then there's also the like when I create the team, I can create my team and then we have the option to invite someone as an admin or a co-host. So what's the difference between the two, Anya?
Yes, absolutely. So when you are inviting someone as admin, think about it as you would think of an admin in your Facebook group page community, right? So admins are pretty much as powerful as you are. And there are only two things that they are restricted from when they are in Restream. And those two things are managing your billing, so anything related to your account upgrades, purchases, credit cards, anything of that sort is not going to be available to your admins. That's only for you. And the second thing is they will not be able to delete the team itself. So basically, where you started by creating a team, that is your exclusive right and opportunity to delete or modify that team. Everything else is going to be available for them. That means that the admins can also invite other admins or assign other roles, such as co host. They can create and delete brand folders. They can add and remove or edit your channels or destinations. Of course, they can edit titles, create, delete, modify events. They can download your recordings. They can upload video files to your storage, which is going to be part of our second part of the show when we have a great story about that. And of course, everything within the stream itself. So managing your chat, highlighting the comments, adding graphics, inviting guests, toggling them on and off. So basically, admin is you who just cannot upgrade your account or change your billing information or delete the team itself. The co host has some limitations. So, the co host role is designed to primarily invite people to help you with one specific stream, while admins are helping you to manage your account in general. So, what co host can do for you is, of course, create and start an end broadcast in the studio. They can manage your assets, so they can upload all these beautiful overlays, backgrounds, pictures, logos, anything you need. They can switch your layouts. They can, of course, share screens, do presentations for you, and they can also help you with guests, bringing them in and out. You can also use your private chat in case you want to communicate with them or with your guests, and pretty much anything that's related to running the stream is going to be available for co-hosts. So those are the two differences. I would say I like to think about admin as someone who can assist with pre-production during the live
Mhm.
stream and post-production, versus a co-host is only primarily during the live show.
Yeah, so because I'm set up as an admin on Anya's account, I was able to go in and well, she scheduled it, but I was able to go in and add all the graphics and like set up everything ahead of time, and even change, like if I had to go in and change some details about, like if we had a different thumbnail or something, I was able to do that. I didn't have to do that for this one, but I could if I had to. So Becky has a
Yeah.
follow-up question on that where she says, is this feature already live?
Yes, absolutely. We're using it right now. It became public a couple of weeks ago. We actually launched in early February. And we did have like an early access for some people even before that. So right now it's fully publicly launched and available for everybody. Like I mentioned, even if you have a free plan, you have one teammate. And yes, absolutely, you can get started with it today. And if you have any questions or anything specific that you would like to provide us as a feedback, we absolutely welcome that. You can reach out to our support for any kind of help with technical questions, onboarding, or feedback.
Absolutely, and I dropped a link in the chat, here about how to set it up. So we have a YouTube tutorial on how to set up Teams, so it'll walk you through step by step. I know we just demonstrated it for you, but if you wanna go through step by step and talk about what each of those things are, there's a video, and then you can also, if this isn't too self-promotional, I was also
Yeah.
going to drop in the See the Teams feature in action. Last week, I hosted this live show where we had, Martin Lucas, who's the world's piano man. So he actually did a performance for us in his home studio using Restream, and we were able to produce and pull off that whole show with Randy in the background running the things. And man, like that was a crazy stream. It was so super entertaining. So if you do get a chance to watch it, please do. But uh, for me as the host, it really helped me relax. I didn't have to worry about scene changes or adding graphics or whatever. I could just focus on our guest, focus on the topic, and then if he was, if we, there were some topics where it just kind of went off, and I was able to follow along because I wasn't paying attention to having to run everything on my own. So absolutely, that is my experience with it, and it's been a fantastic upgrade. I think it's my favorite thing.
Well, thanks, Grace. Yes, and the show is amazing. If you want to hear a very inspiring story of how musical creator is growing on social media through creating life experiences for his audience, that is the show to watch. Like it's really unique, and you have not seen the creator quite like that. For sure. So I'm just actually going to go ahead and share my screen because I think this document is not too bad. I wanted to share a little bit more about like very specific ideas on like how you could use Teams
Yeah.
in terms of what kind of roles you can assign. And it also gives you like little cues right here in terms of whether this opportunity, this application of Teams is available for co-hosts and admins or both, and if it is available for people who are using encoders such as OBS, eCams, and others versus Restream Studio. So one role that you can assign within the Teams is chat moderator. So chat is super important. Your live video experience is a lot more engaging and wonderful because people can have this two-way street and conversation with you. So paying a lot of attention to your chatters is, in my opinion, the key for a successful live stream. So a lot of times when you have to focus on the content, like I do right now, I'm thinking about what I'm talking to you about, right? I'm looking at this image, I'm thinking about chat moderator, what's next. It is easy to forget that there are a lot of people in the chat asking great questions, making comments. So when you assign a role of chat moderator, you actually allow someone else to make sure that they engage with the chatters, drop the links, just like Grace was doing for me earlier today, and highlight or even star or save great comments or questions so we can come back to them later. So this why this role is amazing, and it is possible for both Studio and Encoder. Of course, in Studio it's a little easier because you can highlight the comments, your moderators can show them and clip them for future. But also in Encoders, if you're using Restream Chat Aggregator, you can have someone dropping links in there and making sure that they are paying attention to the chat and making notes of good, great comments. The second role is a graphic wizard. I don't know why I call it that, but I think it's a funny way to remember. And this is just the person who can help you with your visuals, right? Like everything from your logo to your backgrounds, overlays, video clips, anything that appears visually on your stream sometimes is hard to manage in addition to thinking about what you are trying to do, what you're trying to talk about. And especially if you have guests, it's an interview, you need to manage the questions, you need to think about the chatters. It is hard. It is easy to forget. So assign a graphic wizard to someone who is good at changing the layouts and knowing when is the perfect time for an overlay of that video clip, intermission, and elevate the quality of your stream. That is studio only because that's where we can control more overlays, but something to consider if you are a studio person. Then we have a guest and panelist manager. So if you have a big audience and a group of guests and panelists who are coming in at a different time, or just a big group of people who are being interviewed, like a panel of 5, 6, 7, 10 guests, it does help to have somebody who is dedicated to them. So that person could actually do a lot of things, such as prepare the guests, give them some cheat sheets, give them some helpful tips on how to prepare for the stream. They can also manage their private chat. So if you're trying to tell someone, hey, you're coming in next, just be ready, we're going to pull you in a minute, or sound check them before they go live, like all of those things, guest management could be another great role to consider. Co-hosts, my absolutely favorite, exactly what we're doing with Grace right now. So someone else who's on air with you, who is in it together with your content and who's helping you with the narrative. So basically, yeah, you're both on camera, you're both live, and you can also split the previous tasks between the two. But the idea is that you're making it more of a conversation versus a monologue. And of course, you have an admin or a virtual assistant that can do all kinds of things for your pre-production and post-production. And here are some examples for the admin role. So those people might not necessarily show up live. They might not necessarily even be into your live video world at all, but you can give them like very specific organizational things, such as making sure all social channels are added, making sure there are no error messages. A lot of times people come into us and say, gosh, my stream didn't go live on Facebook. Well, that's because your connection expired and you didn't notice that because you were in rush. So that's a great opportunity for admin to make sure that everything is clear, no errors, all the events are scheduled, all the graphics are uploaded, guests are informed, thumbnails, descriptions, graphic folders, everything is great and good to go for that moment when you as a host show up and start. And of course, post-production tasks. Are you done with your stream? Well, you're probably not done with engaging your audience after your video is over. So follow up with your leads that you were able to generate. Make sure you respond to comments on Facebook if you didn't have a chance to respond to them live. Consolidate your stream report from our analytics. And of course, download your video and audio for post-production, such as podcasts or short clips. So those are the things that we definitely recommend you consider when you're thinking about teams.
Yeah.
And let's see if we have any questions on that.
Yeah, so here's a great one. It's, do multiple team members in your live stream count towards that 10 guest limit?
So your team members will be counted to your team members' limits, and guests are completely different.
Yeah.
So basically, so the guest, and I think so. So let me actually rephrase that, because I think if you're asking about like what's happening on screen versus what's happening like within the account, those are two slightly different things. On screen, you can have up to 10 participants, and they can be a mixture of your guests and your team members, right? Like, so you can have some co-producers, co-hosts, they will be taking that 10 guest limits. But in terms of how many you can invite, you can have 10 members accessing your account if you're on premium or business plan. And then you can, in addition to that, invite 10 guests to join your show. But yes, when it comes to on-screen participant, it's still going to be limited to 10 total.
Right.
I hope that makes sense.
That does. So the person that's in your team doesn't necessarily need to be on camera with you, basically, right? They don't need to
Exactly.
like I could have gone and scheduled this. I could go back afterwards and download the videos. I don't count towards someone being on camera unless I am on camera, unless I'm here. So
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. So, hey everyone, if you're just joining us today, we're talking about collaborating on your live streams with our new product, Team Accounts. We also have some other cool features that we wanted to talk about today, but we definitely want to capture all of your questions. So, if there's anything or everything you want to know about Restream, please drop those questions in the comments. We're here to answer your questions. I'm Grace, I'm on the marketing team, and this is Anya, who is our product marketing manager. So, she is the expert on all the things new and happening on Restream. So, we are
Oh,
excited. So, oh, we've got another really cool comment from David Foster. Howdy, I love the team members option. So cool. It's made things so much easier for us. And David Foster is a pro. So take it from him. Don't just take it from us.
absolutely.
Is absolutely. He has run all kinds of productions, all shapes and sizes. So yeah, it's definitely
Absolutely.
been a game changer for us in our own little world, but it's just been really cool for everyone else, I think. I hope.
I would love to invite David, if he can, to share his experience of using Teams as someone who is using sophisticated encoders. I believe you're using OBS for most of your streams, David. So a lot of times people say, well, there's like a lot more value for Teams in Studio versus like non-studio. I would love to hear how you use Teams and like how it is a game changer for you, because you're not necessarily always in Studio. Unless you are, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm very curious to hear how folks are using Teams when they are on OBSs and eCams of this world. So very curious, like what is especially helpful and what is something that we could do or improve to make it even better.
He says he uses Restream several times a day at this point. LOL.
Awesome,
You
yeah,
and me both, David.
yeah. Tell us how you do it with Teams. That would be really exciting. And I think our next thing that we would love to share.
Oh,
Here
he
we
says
go.
he's got a question. So he says, I run one stream with Studio and one with software. So would love to join you and talk about it. Reach out to me. Oh, fantastic.
All right, awesome. Yeah, that's great. So yeah, combining Studio and other streaming software options is probably the best way to take the maximum advantage of Restream as a solution in general, and as Restream Teams in particular. So good job right there.
Sean
Awesome.
has come back and said he loves the co-host addition to the admin. The team appreciated more options without having to use the same login as we did just a short time ago. And isn't that the truth? We used to have to log in to the same account, which was fine
Yeah.
because we're such a close-knit and loving team. We would never do anything wrong. Yeah, we would never do anything to sabotage one another's streams. But at the same time, you do want, if especially if you're working with VAs or admins, or you're working asynchronously, which our team has to do, where a lot of times I don't want to have to bug Anya at her 2 in the morning just because I want to go upload or download something or whatever. So that is you can work, you have much more flexibility on working as a team.
Totally. Secure logins are very helpful. And it also gives like a little bit more personality for co-hosts if that's one of the features that you're using. I've heard a lot of really good comments how co-hosts sometimes would add their personal Facebooks or even pages and communities that they're part of. And they, as co-hosts, when they log in as teams, they can actually go live and appear on Facebook with their own little avatar, right? Like so they would know, okay, this is Paul and this is Paul's friend Anya who is streaming right now. So that's also helpful to like give that a little bit of personality for each teammate. So many great comments. Gosh, let's do it.
Here's David came back. He says I have 3 clients who manage their streams, and we always have to log into their accounts, and it made things weird. Now we can stay logged on to our own accounts, simple and no name changes. Yep, that is so true. I got to log in as
Exactly.
myself today.
Exactly. The name changes. Yeah, that's what that's also part of like this personalization for your co-producers and co-hosts. Yeah, they keep their name. They don't have to be you. Awesome.
So Marissa Cowley has this. She says this is a reminder that an NDA agreement is important regardless of the team setup you have, and that is so true. Absolutely.
Great reminder. Thank you, Marisa. Awesome. That is so many great questions and comments. I love that. Let's try to go through them before we move on to the next topic.
Well, this was a non-Teams feature, non-Teams
Mhm.
question. How do I improve my stream quality in studio? The picture from Wirecast looks great in studio. However, when to go look on Facebook or YouTube, it doesn't look so good. Okay.
Great question. So I would start with checking if you are streaming in 1080p. So you want to make sure that you are in full HD to send the best quality video that you can back to the end platforms. Now, remember that certain platforms do not necessarily support the highest quality. I believe LinkedIn is actually one of them. They would downgrade your video to standard definition. Facebook might also do that, but I would definitely make sure that you set it up to full HD in the first place. Then to understand if the video quality is downgrading on the platform or on Restream side of things, I would check out your recording. So once you're done streaming, you can even do a little test. You can go to your recordings and look at how the video looks. And if the quality there is great, but on the end platform is not, that means there's something going on between those two things. As a workaround, I would disconnect the channel and connect it again just to make sure that your API connection is all good. And if that doesn't help, definitely reach out to our support so they can investigate further.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason you see that the quality is equally not ideal on your recording and on your M platform, then it's a good time to check your internet connection to make sure it's really good and running fast and smooth, so you're not losing any frames and we're not downgrading your quality to just keep allowing you to continue going, so to say. And of course, check your machine. If there's anything else running on your computer in addition to Studio, anything that's heavy graphic programs, video games, movies, videos that you're uploading, downloading, all of that can slow you down big time and impact your quality. So make sure everything is clean. Then compare your recording to the AMP platform. And if something still doesn't make sense, reach out to our 24/7 all human support. They're responding within 5 minutes and they're right there to help you. Very skilled technical people.
Yeah, and they'll get right down into your stream, get into the data, and tell you exactly, oh, this is like this far in your stream, this might have happened, and they'll troubleshoot with you on that because I run into a lot of issues too with my internet connection and everything, not necessarily with Restream itself, and they've been able to help me diagnose those problems as well and figure out what connection I should have. So we have a question going back to Teams. Is there any way that I can save my name info if I log in after my admin does? It defaults to her name and I have to re-enter. So when you have a Teams feature, so I logged in as myself and I was able to, because I was an admin on Anya's team, I was able to go into her team and then come into the show this way. So I didn't have to log in as anyone other than myself. So my name stayed the same. Is that what you're asking, Sean, or is that what's going on?
Yeah. So when you are logging in as a team member, you are going to when you enter the studio for the first time, we will ask you to enter your name so we know how you want to sound, right? Like some people prefer first names, some people have nicknames. So you will have to enter it for the first time when when you enter studio. But when you're just kind of navigating the account, you are acting as yourself as that email address that was added to the account. So that does not change every time. But yes, I think what Sean might be talking about is every time you log in, you enter studio, it
Ah,
asks you to enter your name. So that's going to continue doing that because just we want to just make sure that at this point, because sometimes even for me, even I'm the same person every time, every morning. Sometimes I'm Anya with Restream. Sometimes I'm Anya Restream Marketing. Sometimes I'm Anya Rosina. It really depends. So we give you the opportunity to remind you, like, hey, is this still the name that you want to use?
yeah. So David has responded to Princess Francie. So Princess Francie was on Facebook and David is over on YouTube. So here's the power of
Favorite
multi-streaming.
moment.
So he
Yes.
came with an answer and I wanted to bring it up on screen. He says she just needs to go to Wirecast and set the stream settings custom to 1080, 60, or 30 frames per second, and then the stream bit rate to 600 KB kbps. So there
Yep.
is your answer for you. So there you go. We had a question here. This question comes up all the time, so I think we need to address it, Anya.
Let's do it.
It is Instagram.
Oh,
What is
okay.
our relationship with Instagram?
What
It's
is our relationship?
complicated. It's complicated.
It's complicated. When I subscribed to my package, I was told that I will be able to stream to Instagram, but I couldn't. If you can tell us where you saw that you can stream to Instagram, because I know that within Restream marketing or any kind of product materials, we never say that. We do say you can go to up to 30 platforms at the same time, which is true, but Instagram is unfortunately not one of them. So what's happening is Instagram currently only allows you to go live from their native app. So they only want you to go live from that phone app that you have, and no other third-party applications are integrated with Instagram. Now there are a couple of workarounds, and there are some hacky solutions. One of them is called Yellow Duck. Yellow like color and duck like the little thingy that you put in your bathtub to swim with. And you can use Yellow Duck to connect Restream to Instagram through so-called custom RTMP connection. So it's basically going to be like a hacky way to get into Instagram. There are a couple of downsides for that way, and we know that we have like thousands of people who are doing that because Yellow Duck is integrated with Restream. So people go from Restream to Yellow Duck to Instagram. A couple of things to consider. First, remember that this is not something that Instagram encourages. So potentially you might be banned for doing that because they don't like
Mhm.
that kind of hacky solution. The other downside is that customer TMP is a one-way street when it comes to chat. So you can push your content out, but nothing is going to be coming back. So you will not be seeing the messages in the comments from your community. If that doesn't matter, good. If it's essential for your stream, just keep that in mind that you'll still have to watch your comments on some other device. And the third, probably minor thing, but something to consider, Instagram is vertical only. So whatever you are showing on your stream, you are going to have this kind of version
Yeah.
of it. And if you have to guess, well, just visualize the very middle vertical part of our screen. That's what you're going to see. So remember it's vertical video and adjust to that when you're streaming because Instagram will cat it for you through Yellow Duck. If that, with all that in mind, you can definitely try that, but we just make sure, we always encourage you to make sure that you are aware of the terms and conditions of ad platforms. And the reason why we're not integrated with Instagram is because they don't allow that just yet. The moment they do, we'll be happy to bring it to our community.
Absolutely. So Paul G has this to add over on LinkedIn. Instagram streaming relationship status. It's complicated. That is the truth. And I wanted to highlight this. So I audible correction. I said 600 instead of 6,000 for Francis. 600 would be really, really low quality. So do not listen to David. Do not listen to me. 6,000 kbps. So I wanted to shout
Absolutely.
out that correction. So David does have a question for us. Do you know if and when Twitter will start sending comments or if this is a new norm for them? Well, there's another complicated relationship. I'll let you take this one, Anya.
Totally. Yeah. Actually, Twitter relationship itself is not complicated.
No.
It's more of Twitter being a big company and they are just transitioned from Periscope. Some of you know that Twitter used to be Periscope, which was a different live streaming system. And now that was depreciated and Twitter Live appeared. So what's happening right now is they are in process of building their API for chat. And the moment they're done, we will definitely integrate with it. It's just they are working on it right now.
Right.
And I know it's been a couple of months, if not quarters, since this was happening. We are checking with them on a regular basis. So yes, right now, David is right. If you're sending your stream on Twitter, the comments are not coming back. Similarly to any customer TMP, but we are looking forward to Twitter being ready, and once they're ready, we will be.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just waiting on their end. But no, things with Twitter, awesome. Good relationship.
Things are awesome. Yes. And we will definitely notify you once it's ready. So you don't have to guess. Once the chat integration happens, we will definitely shoot you all an email and post something on our social media about that so you are aware that that's good and ready to go.
So we have another question about this going back to Teams, and Lester was asking, can they add their Facebook page to the team? Yes. If you've got someone as an admin, they can add other destinations and take off other destinations. But the only thing is that they wouldn't be able to, manage your billing or anything. So if you do need more destinations, and you're going to have to manage that as the account owner. But they can add, and they can certainly add the Facebook pages to your account.
Pages, groups, profiles, whatever they need. Teammate. And this is actually the best way to add Facebook, because in that case, if you're inviting the owner of the page or the group as your teammate, then you don't have to ask them to make you an admin, because Facebook has a lot of regulations in terms of like who can stream into the channel and who can connect the channel. So by inviting the page admin or group admin as your teammate, you are making it seamless and super easy for them to add all those groups, pages, and profiles. So definitely the way to go.
Okay, hold on. Lester has this other question. So when you go from OBS to Restream, you go from 1080 to 720.
You shouldn't, because if you are streaming, if you have access to full HD streaming, which is our professional feature, Restream will not downgrade it on lower than 1080p. We do not support anything that's higher than full HD, which is 1080p, while your OBS is capable of potentially 2K or anything even more. But we will not be downgrading it if you make sure that you set it up as 1080p. It's just a pro feature.
So David has this feature request, and you've come to the right place. One feature request I have is the ability to customize chat. I show Restream chat on my screen during my show, and I'm limited on design. Do we have a custom CSS access?
Great question. So currently we do not, but it's a great feature request, exactly as you labeled it. I will look into that with our product team, because we have a lot of requests in terms of more customization for both layouts and chat overlays and like certain things that you want to have more control over in Studio. And of course, for OBS and other things, we definitely will look into that. So right now it's not available, but it's a great request. So we'll definitely pass it along.
Absolutely. And then David has this question: any plans to support 60 frames per second in Studio?
Yes, we do have that option, I believe, if you are doing, because I definitely remember that 60 frames per second is an option, but not for 1080p, right? So we are, it is very platform dependent. One of the issues with 60 FPS is that certain platforms would not accept that stream at all. LinkedIn is actually one of them. I remember very early on in my live streaming time when I was like, oh, 60 frames is better than 30, right? Bigger, better. And I set it up, and my stream did not go to LinkedIn at all because they were not able to accept the stream with that kind of frames per second. So that's why we're just making sure that it is kind of manageable for people who are new and who don't necessarily know the technicalities. But we are looking into this option. So hopefully we'll be bringing it in soon. Right now you can do it with 720 slash 60 on certain platforms, the ones that support 60 frames per second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I see some people are echoing that, saying 720p 60 frames per second is available. Yes, that is true.
That is.
Awesome.
Right. I think we're ready to move on to our next feature update, which I know we're super excited about, which is the ability to play a pre-recorded video in our stream.
Absolutely. Yes, let's do it. So a couple more updates that we want to cover next are related to Studio. So if you are using Studio for your streams, this news are for you. And one feature that we're very excited about is hybrid streams, so mixing live and edited videos in one. So let's probably go ahead and play the clip that we prepared.
Yeah, so
and show it in action.
Yeah, we're going to see this in action. Let me remove this thing, and then I will bring up this video that I preloaded into our
Click the plus
stream.
icon below your preview player, followed by video storage. From here, you can either access videos you've previously recorded in Restream, or upload other ones that you've created. As the host, you can select the video you want to play in your stream, and then it'll appear on your sidebar where you'd normally see guests waiting to join. When it's time to play the video in your live stream, you can simply press the play button right on the video preview. You can then change the video layout, making the pre-recorded video the main focus, playing the video side by side yourself, or minimize your display for a neat picture-in-picture effect. Unlike video clips that mute you and your guest while playing, you'll be able to add your own commentary while videos from your library are playing.
So there you go. I know we could have talked over that, Anya, but I'm so like enraptured with our own videos.
Yeah, I think it's a really great explanation of how it works. And I was like, yeah, Randy is gonna do way better job explaining, and then we can definitely take like specific questions from the audience on that. But it's very simple. So in Restream, you have video uploads and storage. That feature unlocks on professional plan, and depending on your plan, as you go higher, you get more and more videos and gigabytes and durations of videos that you can upload. So think a mini Dropbox or mini Google Drive just for your live videos. So you can upload those pre-recorded, perfectly edited videos into that storage. And now the update is that you can play them in your live stream directly from that video storage. So in the past, in order to play a video like that, you will have to play it from your local machine, so from your computer. So the downside of that is that means that you will need to, while you're live, select that video, find it. If your desktop looks great and organized, kudos to you. If not, good luck finding that video. And then you will be adding it to your stream. And while you're live streaming and adding it, that's when we will be basically uploading that video content on our servers and then send it out to all the social destinations that you're live on. Now, when your video is pre-uploaded to Restream storage, it's already on our service. So you are uh, making a massive shortcut in terms of how much the data, that video weight has to travel between different things. So that increases your quality, and it also helps you stay organized in terms of how like what videos you want to upload and preset. And then whether it's a short clip, a promo, a biography of your guest, you can at any moment of time preset it and like have it basically sit there and be ready. I'm actually going to share our screen right now, and I know it's going to create this infinity loop that we'll hate. But see how right here, the clip that we just played with Randy, it was actually already, it's sitting right next to me, my video, my co-host Grace, and if there were any guests or shared screen, which is what we're doing right now here, that's all right here. And at any moment of time, I can play it. I can also control the sound. I can maximize it, and I can like fast forward it if I want to. So that
Absolutely.
is the magic of playing videos from your storage.
So Steve has this
Great
great
questions.
question. Do the pre-recorded videos stay in the panel or do you have to load them each time you log in? So for the pre-recorded videos, I did have to go in before our show and load this particular one because it's longer. It was longer than the 30 seconds but if you have a video clip that you are consistently using, like our intro or outro, we used to have a Restream promo that we would play in the beginning, middle, or end of our show. Now we have those set to 30 seconds. And so we're able to upload them into our video clips. So those are there all the time. And I put them in our brand folder. So not to get confused with any of the other shows that Anya does, I do have the ones for Livestream with Restream in our brand folder. But because this was a little bit longer, I wanted to be able to talk over, we wanted to be able to describe it. We did have to preload it. But this is a longer video that I actually just took a clip from using our favorite editing tool, Descript, and I just chopped down like the little moment that I needed and put that in there. So, you do need to, these kind of videos, you do need to preload with each broadcast.
Awesome. Start a couple of amazing questions right here. So let's see which will be our next one.
Well, I like this because it's a use case. We used this feature last week in a couple events, and it helps support a lag-free and beautiful delivery. Thank you, Paul. We agree. It was so flawless rather than having to open links and open tabs and, gosh, I hope I don't press the wrong thing, right? It helped my co-host who could in turn go turn it on without me, and that is the truth. So I'd love to talk about some of the use cases. You mentioned a few of them. You mentioned a few of them earlier, a few minutes ago, just about like webinars, commercials, video clips. Like last week when we were interviewing Martin Lucas, he had this really great video that garnered a lot of views, and we were able to show it on screen while he was talking about it. And so he was playing out, you could hear his music, you can hear his singing, and we were able to have a conversation. And you can change the volume on there. So, we had it playing up and then we turned it down so you could kind of hear a little bit of the background music as we were talking about the clip itself. So it led to a very dynamic presentation.
Yes, absolutely. Some more great questions out here. Oh, I'm so excited. I love that you guys are digging this feature because it's so powerful to create those hybrid streams when you have something pre-recorded and edited. Just like this great explainer of how short videos from storage work. we don't have to kind of like stumble on our words and like figure it out while we're live or practice that million times. You can just show something as simple as just a demo or a quick video clip or an introduction for your guest or your sponsor, and then move on with your content. So it's super, super helpful.
David has this question, Anya. How much storage did you say we get for these pre-recorded videos?
Great question. I am going to share my screen while, Grace, if you don't mind, dropping the link to our pricing. So this would be the best place to understand your video limits. So right here, you see that the video storage unlocks on professional plan, and you start with 10 videos, 1 hour each, 2 gigabytes total. And then you can upgrade that to premium to make longer videos uploadable and playable in studio, up to 2 hours, 5 gigs, and 25 videos total. And then on business, you get up to 4 hours per video, 10 gigs, and 50 videos. If you need more for whatever reason, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We do have custom enterprise plans. They're slightly more expensive than all of this, but if you have a good use case and you really need hundreds of videos that are longer and heavier, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
So, David, I did drop the details on our storage capabilities he did ask how much storage do you get per account level. And so the pricing page will detail exactly what that is.
Exactly. Yep. Awesome. I think there was one more thing that I was really curious about. Oh, here we go. The Princess is asking about the presentations feature. I would love to also very, very quickly demo and touch on that because it's brand new. So she's asking, this is a great feature. I was super happy to see it. How does the presentation feature PowerPoint/Keynote work? So that is our latest update. And originally we thought about putting that into our next live stream with Restream, but I will give you a very, very quick demo. Apologies for my infinity screen. I'll probably need to remove the chat. Yeah, so right here in your little plus sign, you have this new tag. And the reason why it's there is because we have something new to show you. So right now we have an option to also show presentations. And if you select presentation, and I have a couple of uploads already here, but you can always upload them from either your Google Drive or just directly from your computer. So we are supporting Google Drive options as well as PDF key and docs. So like all of those files are listed here, can be uploaded. And then once you decide to show it, I'm actually going to show like my little FinCon presentation because why not? You can start showing it and then see how I can seamlessly scroll through the slides, and I can also show comments on top of it. So if there's a question that's related to my video, I can always do that. And coming back to my screen here real quick, see how right here it appears and it gives me this little controls, and I can see the next slide and I can maximize it or minimize it or toggle it off altogether. And it's still going to kind of like sit here within my sources. Grace, come back.
I took myself off so that you weren't looking.
There was a lot going on.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's yeah.
Princess says that is fantastic. See, I didn't even get to see that feature. I just was logged in as in other presentations. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Gotta do the show. So.
Yeah, no, presentations are great because before the big pain point was that when you're sharing your presentation by doing what I was doing earlier, share your whole screen, you basically, in order to see what is in your presentation, which as a speaker, as a presenter, myself, I know it's a pain. Like you kind of got to see what you're talking about. So you basically constantly had that choice. I have to look at this presentation in one tab, and then I can go back to my studio and see the comments, the chats, like whatever else happened there. So now that's all gone. Technical hell has been overcome. You can add your presentation just like you would any other source, navigate it, and still stay engaged and connected to your viewers.
Absolutely. So David has this question. I think you might have answered my question. Can I select multiple videos to upload at once?
I believe for the storage, you will need to upload one by one. But that's actually an interesting and tricky one. I'm going to double check that just in case. But I do believe that you are uploading one after the other because it does take a little bit of time for process, and you'll be seeing like a little bar that says processing. And once it's done, then you can upload the other. You can download a bunch of videos at the same time, though. That I know. If you go to your recordings and then you select download, they will all be downloading at the same time.
So we have so this is another feature that I think it goes kind of overlapping. We talked about it like I think at the end of last year, but Stream Deck has keyboard options. Keyboard shortcuts are available. Are I guess they're asking are keyboard shortcuts available in the Restream Studio? And they are.
Yes.
They
Yes, they
are. It's
are.
not very yeah.
They are. This is super cool. Great question. Yes, we do have shortcuts. I will show you how to get there again using our favorite multiple infinity screen. So this little gear star right here is going to open up your settings. Once you open up your settings, you will navigate to shortcuts. And that is where you have all kinds of letters and all kinds of options. So see how you have like very simple controls, microphone, camera, they all have their own letter assigned to it. You can add a presentation now. So that new feature is actually also Command P if you're on Mac. And there are certain, actually not Command, just P. And then there are certain layout options that you have, and you can open and bite, guest pop over, do the full screen and private chat with certain letters right here as well. I do believe that you can program your Stream Deck to also respond to these hotkeys. But like I personally just use the keyboard whenever I need my shortcuts. But I do believe that Stream Deck is programmable once you know this little secret code.
Absolutely. So we had a little question answer happening in our chat thanks to our great support team representative here in the US, Sean.
Awesome.
So Morgan Bartlett asked, do you have it so the guests can change slides for themselves? And Sean from Restream said Google Slides presentations work like an image that is changed by the host. So
For now.
for
However,
now.
in just a couple of days, I believe we are pushing an update to presentation and slides. So your guests can also come in and upload their own presentation and manage them as well. So if your show is an interview with someone extremely smart who is going to show some visuals, they will be able to do that very, very soon. We're talking about days, not even weeks or quarters.
Oh, but Sean just came in and said, but a co-host and team member can. Woo, bringing it
That's
back to
very
the
true.
topic of the show. Oh, that is why
Exactly.
Sean is the best, by the way. So
Exactly.
he's
Insider info. Yeah,
insider
absolutely.
info.
So
Well, this
yeah,
is the
like
show to get insider info. You've got all the insiders right here inside the studio. So
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so two ways to do it right now. If you really think this guest is amazing and I want them to control the slides, they have their own situation going on, just make them a teammate for today, and let them be your co-host, and then they can control slides easily. And then in a couple of days, as a guest, they will also be able to upload their decks and control them.
So we have a question here, which I will demonstrate. How do you enable Restream chat from Facebook and other social media to be displayed on the live stream? So let me remove our logo here, and then I can show you.
Let's overlay it. Yes.
Let's see. Okay. Here we are. So here we are in the studio with my rainbow effect. And then you just click here. So where my little mouse is, chat overlay, and it brings it up on screen. So as new comments drop in, it doesn't do the past comments, but as new comments dropping in, you'll see, they'll be displayed here off to the side. It minimizes your screen. So as new comments are coming in, you will be able to see them. So drop your comments. You'll be able to see them in here.
Awesome.
So,
Yes.
anyway.
And I love chat overlay because I think it's such a great feature that just allows you to do that amazing thing that we saw earlier when people from YouTube start responding to folks from Facebook, and all the community across all social channels and platforms feels like one. I think one last thing I wanted to demo real quick because it's just a ton of fun, enormous
Okay.
fun, is our virtual backgrounds. So let's go ahead and make me main screen, whatever that is. And I'm just going to show you real quick how this is going to look on my screen. So this is virtual backgrounds, which means that I do not need to have any green screen. Like you see, like all this stuff behind me is real, including the "this is fine" dog, very important. And at any moment of time, I can go to my settings, select virtual background, and It's going to take a second to apply. And here we go. And here is my virtual world. So of course, just like Zoom virtual backgrounds, unlike green screens that have a very, very sharp and perfect outline of your image versus your background, this one is a little zoomy, if you allow that. But you can create this amazing virtual backgrounds already without any green screen. Now, if you do have a green screen, that is also an option in settings. You just go to that same. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. You just go to that same plus sign. Oh no, I'm sorry, settings. And then from settings, you will go to virtual background. And then in the key color, you will be selecting auto. If you're like me, I only have real background. I don't have anything else. Or if you have green screen, blue screen, magenta, or custom color, you can also select that. With auto, you can actually, you have a couple of options. We do give you some preset images and you can upload your own. That is also available even on free plan. So if you want to do a little bit of branding with Restream on free plan, that is one of the ways to do it. And you can also simply blur your background instead of actually changing it to virtual. See how like it changed a little bit and blurred it. So that is one of our latest updates as well. Really good for people who are trying to hide a messy background or go live on brand and have to change it on the whim real quick.
I've got 2 questions here. So, where do you find the virtual background feature, Anya? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So once again, we are going to log into Studio. So that's a Studio only feature, of course. You're going to click on that star settings icon or press S if you are into hotkeys. And then you'll go to virtual backgrounds, which is under audio. And here are your backgrounds. So by default, so all these guys, like the last 5 are my custom. So I uploaded them separately. You will have either blur or this couple of things that you can do that we give you as a preset. You have brick wall and a little poolside. And if you click on the plus sign, you can upload any file from your own laptop computer.
Cool.
And I saw there was a question about video background.
Yes.
Yes, so video backgrounds are not supported yet for that feature, but you can have video backgrounds as the background for like your whole stream, right? Like, and we can demonstrate that real quick with our graphics. So now you see those blue waves that are static, but we can always change it to, what do we like that little outer space thing, or whichever one is your favorite, Grace. I'll let you.
Let me find one. This is the one that I like.
Yes,
this is the one I like. This is the one I like. But we've
the
got a lot of new
internet.
ones. Yep, the
Yes.
internet, the purple waves.
The
So
purple
I
wave
like
of
that one.
internet. Yeah, so we do support those video backgrounds, and they're also customizable. So you can upload your own video to do the thing behind you. But for virtual backgrounds in you, it's going to be static images for now only.
So Becky asked, can guests change their virtual background on their own?
So the guests, yes, the guests can change their virtual backgrounds in settings just like you would. Yeah. Great question, by the way.
Well, we are up to an hour. Can you believe it, Anya? We were all like, we prepared for the show and then it just goes by like this, right? So
yeah.
If you guys are watching this, we plan to do this once a month for right now as we're rolling out new features and just really focus on the new features. So join us again. You can subscribe or follow our YouTube channel or Facebook page and get alerted the next time we do this. So it should be in a couple weeks. And if you caught the middle and you want to go back and watch it, this will remain up and you can certainly watch the replay.
It was such a pleasure to see all of you here. Great questions today, great comments, great feature requests. We are actually screenshotting all of them, and I will go through them and talk to our product team on how soon we can implement them. And other than that, thanks again for hanging out with us for this whole hour, especially those folks who's been with us this whole time. We will see you in a month, and happy live streaming. We love you.
Bye, everyone.